Hello, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Coronavirus. As you can see, it's been a minute since I made a last video. Anyway, it's May 1st, and we need some lumpia. So today we're going to make lumpia, Grandma Lou style lumpia. What you see here is we got about a cup of diced onion, about a cup of diced carrot, celery. About a cup and a half or so of diced mushroom, about a cup and a half of bean sprouts. We got about a little over a pound of hamburger that's been defrosted, and of course, don't look at the pulled pork. We'll have our lumpia wrappers. Now, lumpia wrappers, we want them to take them out before you start. You want them still frozen, but you don't want them so frozen you can't separate them. What we're going to do first, though, is before we start putting everything in our big wok, we're going to make a little gravy. So we have this gravy kind of simmering while we do this. So we're going to start with 1 cup of water. Skip back, please, love. Thank you, Kaya, for being my camera woman again. Let's see here. You can get further back. We're going to start with about a cup of water. And a 1/4 cup of water for the cornstarch, which I'm going to add over here to mix it. Whoopsie. Then we're going to take 2 teaspoons of better than bouillon beef broth.
Does it matter if you use chicken or beef?
You can use either, but I prefer lumpia. I prefer beef for the gravy, for the taste, because we're using a beef. If we were making chicken, you know, chicken is the meat in our lumpia, then I guess chicken broth. But this is, we're using hamburger, which is beef. We are going to use stuff sticky. I don't want to waste it though. Come on. All right, I'm going to use my finger. I wash my hands. Make sure you wash your hands. Okay, so that's 2 teaspoons of that. I also have some chicken broth I left over from a dish I made, so I'm just going to use that because why waste it? Excuse me, honey. Put this away. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And finally, we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of, I don't have a tablespoon, so I'll use this guy. 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch into 1/4 cup of water, and we're going to whisk. Okay, step back, please. You want the cornstarch to be nice and thick, and nice and smooth. You do not want all right. This is the gravy. We're going to be adding this to our mixed vegetables and sauce, but let's get that kind of just warmed up. Let that do its thing. All right. Want some puto? All right. So now that we have that, we are going to start browning our hamburger. Come on. There we go. In the big wok today, I'm going to put in just a little canola oil because we're using Costco. I think this is like 90%. It's like a low fat hamburger meat. And yeah. Okay. All right. Let me clean this up. Don't need the cornstarch anymore. Don't need bouillon anymore. And oh, poor Nerf. So Nerf has suffered from another one of the unfortunate side effects of sheltering in place is he has no groomer, and he had such dreadlocks that Stacy tried to give him a haircut, and now he's got a flat top. Poor dog. Poor sad dog. So there's our gravy. Just gonna help thicken up our sauce, that's all. Wait for this to get warm. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this in stages. In addition, one more ingredient I forgot. It's right here behind you. Is frozen vegetables. So we're waiting for that to get hot. Let me go ahead. So we're gonna do about 3 cups of frozen veggies. This is a 2-cup container. Oh, this is giving me stress.
Don't cut yourself.
Yep, I almost did that already. Need a sharp knife. Make the job nice and easy. So what we're going to do is we do not want to put frozen vegetables into our wok. This is 2 cups. This is a cup. So what we're going to do, we're going to just take the frozen vegetables. We're going to stick some water on top of it, stick in the microwave for a few minutes to just warm them up. You do not want to put frozen vegetables in a wok because it's just going to make your wok cold. And then that's just going to defeat the purpose of, excuse me, Emmy. There you go. Oh, water is now super hot. 3 minutes. Woo! Look how fast it heats up.
I smell popcorn.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Go. And we're just gonna heat this up real quick. We'll hit this with some salt. Some pepper. A little onion powder. And maybe a little garlic.
Dad, you're leaving the...
What? It's okay.
Oh.
I'm okay for a second. You don't want to leave it in there. If I don't leave it and I walk away, I'm grabbing a spoon. It's fine. Oh. Here's your sauce. Lower that. Where's my garlic? I thought there's my garlic. It's me. Add maybe about a teaspoon. Yep. Don't eat too much. You just want to cook this past pink because we're gonna cook this with the vegetables later. So you don't want to overcook the meat. So we're just gonna get it past pink. This is way pink right now, so. You see there's like no oil, like no fat. This hamburger is very lean, which is good. It's healthier, I guess. I'm going to say this is going to be done. And that it's past pink. There's still a little pink in there, but it's going to cook out as this progresses. sauce a little bit. Stir. We're just trying to warm the sauce, just so the bouillon breaks down and mixes in. All right. Can't use a slotted spoon, can I? Yeah. This will work just fine. Just be careful, don't scrape the metal on your pot. Okay, and this is good because the oil comes out. We want to save the oil because we're going to cook with it later.
I think this is done in the dishwasher.
Hmm?
The dishwasher.
What about it?
Is done. So you can...
No, that's all right. We got everything we need right here. Everything we need. Should be just fine. Boop. Okay, let's move it up. Heat back on. Now we have all that meat juice sitting there, which is perfect. I'm going to shoot it with just a little bit more oil because I want to now melt the onions in this meat juice. Alright, so you're going to do the onions and celery first. Let that melt. Then we'll do the bean sprouts and the mushrooms. And finally we'll do the veggies. Yep, we need salt. There's a little hamburger in there, that's okay. Want to salt your onions. Let that work out. Let's see what we're doing. This needs another 10 minutes. This water's still cold. Yeah, you don't want frozen vegetables in there, but you don't want to cook them either. You don't want to stir fry them. And again, these are lumpia wrappers, and lumpia, you're going to deep fry the lumpia, so that's going to, things are going to also cook inside the wrapper. Eventually. Okay, back to the food. That's me. See,
you eat it anyways.
Our gravy is starting to come up. Just thickening up just a little. All right. I'm going to add some green onion to this because I can. Excuse me, can you back up for a second? It's always nice to have some green onion. Add a little bit more garlic to the onions. Another ½ teaspoon. We don't need garlic anymore. Turn off our sauce, because it's more than thick enough where I need it to be. Because again, it's going to thicken up in the, you want it to thicken in the sauce in this pan, so you'll see what happens when we add it. Alright, I think we're time mushrooms. All right, so this is well rinsed bean sprouts. Okay, rinse it well, let it drain. You're not even too early. That's one. Just gonna drain this out. And there we go. 3 cups of, blanched. You can also just drop them into a, like a sous vide, a Ziploc bag, and drop them into some hot water. All you're trying to do, or you can even put them in a pot and just blanch them. You do not want to overcook them. The vegetables. Hit it with some soy sauce. I don't know why, so I want to put some onion powder. So these holes are so small in this onion powder, almost nothing comes out. Hit it with some pepper. Well, layer in your flavors here. Lots of pepper. Fresh ground pepper, always. Never that stuff you pre-ground. Unless maybe it's like white pepper, then that I can understand. You see now the vegetables are giving us some nice moisture already. Let's raise the heat up. Should have done that before I added the vegetables, but okay. All right. Some more salt. All right. My notes there. And then I think we're ready to put in meat. What do you think? The mushrooms look like they're nice and soft. And let's get the meat cooking. The rest of the meat. Looking good. So now we're incorporating the meat. It's just past pink, so it's got to cook some more. The heat's on high. And doesn't that look beautiful? This is the filling for our lumpia. It's going to be delicious. All right. And you see, just 1 pound of hamburger meat and, a couple cups of vegetable, and you got a wok full of yummy, of filling. And this is like, good for 50, 60 lumpia. So now we're going to add in our wonderful gravy. Let's give it up. I'm going to put this in the sink. Whoopsie. Oh, am I in your way, Miss Camera Woman?
It works.
Apparently it does. All right, we are pretty much now about done. We're going to cook this down until it thickens up some more. Let some of that water evaporate. We'll be looking for a nice kind of a goo, a flavorful gravy that's going to bind all of our stuff together in the lumpia wrapper. It just tastes wonderful. Who doesn't like a beef gravy in their lumpia?
I prefer chicken gravy overall, like generally, but.
Well, when I make gravy, it's beef. The gravy that I make, always beef.
Huh.
Poultry gravy, that's Thanksgiving. And even then, I cheat. I put a little brown gravy in there. All right, so we're going to leave this on for another minute or so on high. And then after this finishes, so we're going to leave this for about a couple minutes more. And then we're going to put it on a platter and we're going to let it cool. Do not roll your lumpia with hot contents. A, your lumpia wrapper is going to disintegrate, and B, you're going to burn your fingers. So we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so our insides are cooling off now. One thing I forgot to show you is at the very end, I threw in the green onion just to kind of give it a nice little zest. Next thing we need to do is we need to make the lumpia wrapper, so we're cleaning off our kitchen table. But before that, I need to make a paste to close it. So the paste is simply 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 egg. Okay? Come on, there you go. Ooh, I want to show you something. I learned something today. So, in case you may not know, Bella, see the little white thing right there on the egg? This little white proteiny thing, that guy right there, see it? That's called, is it chalaza? I always thought it was like an embryo of the egg, but it's not. There's actually 2, one on each side of the egg, of the yolk, and they attach to the shell, and it keeps the yolk in the center of the shell. I never knew that. I never knew what these things is. My mom used to want to like pick them out, but they're just protein. See, there's 1, there's 2. Anyway, they disappear when you cook the egg. So we're just trying to make a paste. We can add some water too if it becomes too thick. Let me add some water. Oopsie, came out faster than I wanted to. You know what? I should have done this. So I should have did the water. I should have made a slurry of the flour. Yep. Made a mistake. So don't do it this way. It's a hard way. Make a slurry with little water, little flour, and then beat it in. But this eventually works. And all we're trying to do is make something a little sticky that won't discolor the... Alright, so we're using these lumpia wrappers. They're the circle kind. Cymex, I guess. We got them from the Ranch 99 store. These are the ones that Grandma Lou used to use. Now, there are other lumpia wrappers that are square. I think those are more like egg roll. And I think they're a little thicker, too. So we use these ones. Recycle. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, as you see right here, I have you can see the steam coming off the meat. So we're still letting the meat cool. I put it on a tray and I elevated it so that it will drain this way. And then I'm going to be spooning from up here. Not from the wet area, but from up here. It's a beautiful little gravy. Yeah, have a little test. Oh, that tastes so good. Wow. All right, well, I can't use the spoon anymore. I'm going to demonstrate kind of how to separate your wrappers. Now, you want your wrappers cold, almost perma-frozen, not fully frozen. You don't want them to get too cool, though, because then it's going to be a nightmare. Separating this is what takes all the time. And you just have to go slow. And if there's a better trick to this, I wish someone would show me. But this is the hardest part of lumpia making. It's just separating these wrappers. They're paper thin. No. Paper is thick compared to this. It's like razor thin. So you just want to run your finger along, pull up a little.
You know, like tissue paper?
It's like tissue paper thin. Thank you, Kai. Very, very observant. Oh, see? I just broke it. It's okay. If you break it, you'll roll over it.
Not the end of the world, but you don't want like a huge.
Exactly. And if it's torn, like this part's torn and stuck, then you go over the side. See what you can do. Sometimes you're going to lose one or two, and that's okay. That happens. Okay? Slowly. Don't rip too fast. You'll just have chunks of wrapper, and that's not going to do you or anyone else any good. Okay, coming over here. Oh. See, this is getting, so there you go. And we're going to, don't worry about that hole. We'll fix that. Now, I wouldn't do too many because they dry out fast. So I would honestly, I would do about 5 or 6. Separate them and then leave the stack there. Wrap the lumpia and do 5 or 6. Or if you have a friend, they can unwrap while you roll. Goes faster and you can gossip. Or talk about things. Like how it sucks to be stuck at home. Anyway, Bella, this is probably, you're going to probably go crazy doing this part.
Haven't we all?
Yep. All right. I got a pretty good one there. Come on. Almost there. Boom. Booyah. And again, they're not perfect, but that's okay. All you need is this, you know, the majority of the surface to be, okay. See, I do this too with my finger. I raise it up and I just kind of tap it out. Raise it up, tap it out. Come on. Just coaxing the different layers from each other. Oh, see? Made a hole. This way. There we go. All right. Be careful not to have doubles because sometimes they're so thin, you may think you're getting one out and you're getting 2.
Or 3 or 4.
Well, if you get 3 or 4, then you're definitely doing it wrong. You're not realizing how thin these things really are. I mean, that's how thin they are. I mean, you can almost see through them. They are super thin. Super thin. All right, so I did about 3. Let's call that done for now.
As we're going slower and...
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lumpia like this. And then... spoon for this. Keep mixing your thing up. Okay, so you're gonna grab a spoonful of stuff. Not a lot, just that much. This is still too hot. We might be doing this too fast, but anyway, let's try. About a spoonful. That's it. Right there. Don't add any more. You might think, oh my God, that's so little. No, it's not little. It's actually quite a lot. Okay.
Oh, that's gonna like...
You're gonna roll like that. You're gonna roll this one in. Roll this one in all the way to the edge, and you're just going to roll it all the way through. You get to here, get some of your, just make, you know, you don't need a lot, just a little, and there you go. That's one lumpia. Pretty good size for the first try. A little lopsided. The first few lumpia you do are going to be the ghetto lumpia. They're going to look really bad. But then, after a while, they start to look more uniform. Okay, so I'm going to grab, again, one utensil tablespoon worth of lumpia stuff. I'm going to stick it right there. Spread it out about a finger's length. Yeah. Make sure it's kind of the same size all the way around the cylinder. And then roll, and then Bob's your uncle. That's a lot of egg. Oy.
You said these are going to be the ghetto lumpia.
Yeah, the first few are going to look weird. That's okay. Now, if you got one with you punctured a hole, then put that hole where you're going to wrap. Because this part here is going to get rolled over. Okay.
Spoon.
Little spoon.
But you get to time lapse this.
I will. I mean, this is it. I mean, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna do all 70 of them, or how many we're gonna do. Just a few. Roll once, twice.
Maybe we'll like make a time lapse.
Does that thing have time lapse? I wonder if it has. My camera has time lapse.
Probably does.
Just let it sit here, and we'll just see this thing go boop 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 boop.
Or to see you with doing the process.
All right, we'll do one more, and that we will call done. So here's the ghetto. Here's one that got damaged, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and fill here on that. That's gonna be my bottom. Okay, 1 spoonful right above the hole.
Or below, depending on how you look at it.
And then look at those nice mushrooms. Roll, fold, roll, fold.
Oh, nice.
Got another hole right there. I want to make sure we fold over that hole. Then, just a little, not a lot.
Right.
And there you go. That is how you fold lumpia. Okay. Anyway, I'll be doing this for the next half hour or so. We'll come back when it's done. Maybe we'll even fry up a couple. And I'll show you how to make a lumpia sauce. All right. So as you can see, I've gotten through quite a few. What do I have? 5, 10, 20, about 30 of them. And I had to break into another box of wrappers. So I think we're about done. I'll just let this finish out. Maybe I'll end the video later tonight or later. Maybe after this, I'll cook a couple in some oil. All right. We'll go to a time lapse and continue on.